Brief History of USA and Indigenous Period.
Long before the history of kings, a bridge of land and spirit connected the continents. Some came by the kelp highway, following the curve of the sea in sturdy vessels. The ancestors were anything but unwitting travelers. They were original inhabitants of this hemisphere. They were masters of the fluted spear, leaving eyewitness accounts of Pleistocene megafauna in their oldest stories. The very mud of Lake Otero preserved the play of children at least 22,000 years ago. In shelters like Meadowcroft, they left an unbroken record of their presence across 19 millennia. Whether by sea or by land, they found a home in a world of abundance. Their tools were innovations of survival, crafted with precision and deep purpose. Around their fires, the first traditional homelands were named and claimed. Even in the grief of loss, they honored their kin with beauty and stone.
As the ice retreated, they spread out across the wild lands, claiming their sovereign legacy. They do not see themselves as travelers, but as the original people of this place.
As the world grew warm, the runoff of giants created the Great Lakes and southern waterways. The tundra gave way to forests, and the hunters adapted to a changing forest floor. The spear thrower, or atlet, became the primary tool of the new archaic age. They learned the rhythm of the plants, protecting themselves through environmental knowledge. In the wetlands of Louisiana, they engineered a city of earth, Poverty Point. Thousands converged here, creating a massive hub of commerce without relying on farming. Tons of stone were ferried from afar, brought by the waterways of the Mississippi. Their social organization was a marvel, moving mountains of earth by hand. In their hands, common stone became art, depicting the spirits they revered. They built timber circles, mirrors of the sky used to create memory spaces. Across the east, a more sedentary life began to take root in small villages. The first great monuments of North America stood as a testament to their skill. In the valleys of Ohio, the people formed a network that reached across the entire continent. From the mountains to the sea, raw materials flowed into the Scioto heartland. They perfected the cold hammering of copper, creating ornaments of unmatched skill. Their pipes were windows into the soul, carved with the likeness of animal spirits. They did not just bury their dead, they created sacred spaces for the journey beyond. Within log crypts, they wrapped their important kin in pearls and copper. Leadership was earned through wisdom and the strength of localized lineage groups. Envoys traveled on white roads of sacred wampum, safe from attack. Agriculture was a minor garden craft, supplementing the bounty of the woods. Shamanic traditions thrived, connecting the people to the spirits and celestial realms. Yellowstone obsidian and Gulf Coast shells met in the Great Ohio Exchange. The very earth was sculpted into geometry to honor the cycles of the moon. In the dry heart of Arizona, the Hohokam achieved a marvel of hydrological engineering. By hand alone, they carved canals that made the desert valley arid. Their fields were riparian oases, supporting the needs of thousands. They saw water as a sacred gift, linking their semi-autonomous villages together. Snaketown was their center, a hub of culture for 1,500 years. In their ball courts, they gathered for rituals and the exchange of goods. They were the first in the Western world to master the art of acid etching. Their trade routes brought macaws from the south and turquoise from the north. Men tended the fields while the women wove the fabric of desert life. Their pottery told stories of Kokopelli, the deity of fertility and harvest. As their society grew complex, their architecture rose above the earth. The Sivan Vaki, or village of the king, stood tall against the horizon. Chaco Canyon was the heart of the Southwest, where stone and timber rose in massive complexes. Their roads were engineered pathways of trade and pilgrimage across the basin. The Kiva was their sanctuary, where religion and community met below the earth. Even in the dry basin, trade networks ensured that no village stood alone. On the Mesa Verde plateau, a complex society evolved over 900 years. Their sandstone masonry was a tribute to skill, built to withstand time. Cliff Palace was a vibrant village, home to over 100 people in one alcove. They mastered dry farming, using grids of stone to save every drop of rain. Their homes were fortresses of peace, accessible only by handholds in the rock. Turkeys and dogs were their companions, providing resources and ritual. Designs were woven onto clay, making every pot a piece of cultural legacy. From their cliff houses, they watched the cycles of the sun and the stars. At the junction of three great rivers, the Big Bang of urbanization began. Monk's Mound was a mountain of earth, larger at its base than the Great Pyramid. Cahokia was America's first city, a metropolitan marvel north of Mexico. It was a crossroads of the world, where residents shared a single vision. In the depths of the mounds, the power of their rulers was absolute. A social hierarchy emerged, separating the priests and chiefs from the commoners. They were a people of ritual and sport, honoring the balance of the cosmos. Woodhenge was their calendar, a cedar clock tracking the equinox and solstice. It was a city of neighborhoods, where diversity was the engine of social change. Intensive maize agriculture provided the fuel for their expanding metabolism. A wall of timber enclosed the center, a symbol of strength and separation. From all over, immigrants sought work and a good life in the city. The stable warmth of the centuries broke, and the great river turned hostile. Long droughts parched the soil, and the corn could no longer support the city. The systems of cooperation dissolved, and the embers of conflict began to glow. Cahokia did not just vanish, its people moved on when the land stopped working. On the high mesas, the ancestral Puebloans realized their world was unraveling. They left their homes as if they were coming back, pots still on the floors. Some kivas were burned in ritual, a way to close a chapter of history. They set out for a better place, a migration etched into oral tradition. The journey was not easy, a road of emergence that tested their resilience. They followed the traders' paths toward the valley of the great river. They were ready to begin again, adapting to new clay and new plants. The Tewa did not disappear. Their songs and dances keep the universe spinning. According to the legend, in the beginning, Sky Woman fell through the darkness and rested on a turtle's back. With the help of the animals and a dance of life, she created Turtle Island. Out of Earth Woman, the daughter of Sky Woman, grew the three sisters, the foundation of sedentary life. But for long years, her descendants were lost in a dark time of terror and war. Then came a messenger from the Creator, a prophet named the Peacemaker. He found partners in Hiawatha and the Peace Queen, spreading a vision of unity. He traveled through the forests, restoring mental health to the violent. Even the fiercest leaders were brought into the light of peace. Under the great tree, they buried their weapons of war forever. The tree became their constitution, a great law that welcomed. It was a democracy rooted in the power of women, the clan mothers. They are the people of the Longhouse, thinking always of the 7 generations yet to come.